everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you'll be joining this video. Of course, I do hope that you can join this now as we are going live. Welcome, everyone. I just made an announcement. I don't know if you guys had seen the public post I made. Hi, Stan. Oh, I'm glad you are from this account. So, if I ask you for some help, I know you would be able to do it because only admin can post a link. So, hey, John. Hi, everyone. So, usually at this time, we have a Zoom call not every on Wednesdays, but not every Wednesday. It's every other Wednesday, and I looked at all the emails and all the planned videos, and I've decided to possibly divide the Friday topics, so it will be a little bit. We'll talk about a different wine, maybe a follow up or something connected with today's topic. Welcome, everybody. You can say hi while I can see you because and I want you guys, all of you, to understand this. As you write and type when I am live, it's hard to read all the comments. Sometimes you talk to yourself, sometimes you talk to other members, and I just want to tell you thank you everyone for coming and joining and making a discussion. It wouldn't be as fun, if you would not be able to join. But if I would say, if I would only answer the comments, it would be kind of a difficult to go on with the topic. If you don't believe me, try sometime to go live yourself, just for your friends or family. And if people, oh my god, sorry guys, it's falling. Oh my god, that's so funny. If if people will keep asking you questions, you won't be able to get away with the topics. Wow, that was a sneak peek, which I didn't plan on. No, it's okay. Well, I want to also say thank you for those of you who've been generously contributing to the channel. And I've decided, so I'm going to pick 5 people. I'm going to pick by the end of the month. So 1 month from last Friday, because we started kind of getting to this last Friday. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Terry. So counting from last Friday, we're gonna have a month, which is about 4 weeks, right? And so I truly appreciate you, and I'm gonna pick 5. I was thinking to pick 3, but it's very hard to pick 3. I'm gonna pick 5 people who are very active in the super chat, who are supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. You may not know this, but because I talk about feminine things, not feministic things, a lot of my really popular videos have been demonetized. So it means a lot to me. It's an encouragement to keep going, making this content, because obviously this content is not a common media or main media style. So I really appreciate you all. So I will tell you a little bit later what I'm gonna do, but just so you know, I'm gonna pick 5 people, and they're gonna be 3 little prizes, and we're gonna make a little fun drawing right here live. So I'm not trying to favor anybody. I'm gonna blindly pick 3 people, and you're gonna get some little perks, and it's gonna be really, really fun. So it's gonna be about a month from now. I just want to show my appreciation, and I cannot wait to go to the to my nail appointment. It's tomorrow. So as I promised you, I'm going to be all decked out for Friday. As women, we have to have these goals. I think one of the reasons why women let themselves go is because it's a lot of work. number one. And we all getting a little comfortable at times, and sometimes you have children, and it's very difficult, to chase them, or even to find time to update your style and cut some bangs. Thank you guys. I love this style too. I just needed a little refreshing, so to speak. And it's behind the scenes. Our salons are not open yet. But guess what? Breaking the law to be beautiful, okay? What do you guys think about that? Breaking the law to be beautiful. Yes, it is actually expensive. That is very true. That is expensive. And, there are ways around it, but, maybe when your man does not appreciate that so much and he's mad at you, or it takes you 2 hours to get ready, you just kind of, if he doesn't have any reaction, why bother? So, yes, guys, breaking the law to have fun, right? Okay, let's see. Hi, Terry. Terry says bows for the queen. Thank you, Terry. You're so sweet. Thank you guys for the compliments. John is saying very Betty Page. Oh, I love Betty Page. So cute. Thank you. I'm actually getting ready for a shoot. So trying to find. I try not to do the same photo shoot. I mean, what the point of that? So thank you guys. Thank you, Stan. Did you say Ural? Let's see, where is Stan's comment? That is funny. Thank you guys. I am glad you enjoying yourself over here. Hi, Brian. I love it. Brian is saying maybe Soviet spy style, Boris and Natasha. All right. So, wow, John, you know good brands for women's skincare. Wow, I'm impressed. All right. A little bit of a small talk to start. Привет, Надежда. Welcome. We have a lady from Kharkov. Добро пожаловать. Welcome, welcome. Так, что у нас еще? Okay, maybe I am a spy. Now when I think about it. Alright, so I want to warn you, this camera construction gonna be falling, and I hope it won't be too revealing. I'm trying for it, making too revealing, but you may be quite surprised. So, and once again, I will share with you a little bit later my thoughts on rewarding my very dedicated members. So, topic today, something you do not want to miss, something you want to understand. A lot of men are very confused by the Ukrainian dating, and a lot of men are feeling like giving up, and they do not understand. They tell me, Veronica, how is that, you tell us about this dedicated, loving, caring, nurturing, kind, sweet, just incredible angel-like women, and all we get is something completely different. All we get is so-called bad girls. Actually, the question of this video is, do Ukrainian women love the bad guys? So we're gonna talk about bad guys and the bad girls. How about that? And I'm all a lot more comfortable today. So, do Ukrainian women love bad boys, bad guys? Or do good guys meet bad girls? Any thoughts? So today we're going to be talking particularly about certain category. I almost need to put like a little thing behind my back that would say, this does not apply to all. It does identify everybody. So today we're simply talking about a category of women that seem to prefer bad guys. And so good guys are feeling that they are cannot get successful. So let's talk about this. I, as always, want this to be a discussion. I will be sharing insights. You know how my show is. And I hope that we will find out the problem, the cause, and what to do about it, and whether there is anything you actually could do about it. Um, on Friday, I'm considering talking, following up this video and talking about the difference between understanding dynamics and playing games. There is a major difference in understanding the dynamics and playing games with people. Unfortunately, a lot of people basically basically mix those two. They don't understand. Sometimes when I do my consulting services, a lot of men, or maybe shall I say some, not a lot, but some, think that I'm teaching them manipulation, or I'm teaching them how to play the game. But you have to understand the dynamics of things. So we're gonna touch on this a little bit today, maybe possibly more into depth on Friday, unless we decide to do something else. So a lot of men are been going to Ukraine year after year, and they basically ended up with the same result. They ended up with supporting. Just a minute, guys. Bye. Talking about bad guys and bad girls. Ah. So, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. I'm very excited to be here today with you. Welcome. So, once again, there is a category of men that have been on a dating market, been traveling to Ukraine. They feel like they were following the advice, they were supporting the lady, being respectful, being considerate, giving them, a strong back. In Ukrainian, it means support, or strong shoulder, shall I say. Staying committed, staying consistent, and just doing all of these things, following a lot of my insights, and possibly other creators' insights on this topic. And yet they would get into a relationship that maybe last 6 months, couple months to 6 months to a year, and then the lady tells them that, oh, I don't love you, I don't want you, I have somebody else, I'm tired of you, I don't want you anymore. So it seemed to be very strange, because as far as you're learning from my videos, there is a major category of Ukrainian women that looking for a stable guy, a dedicated guy, a guy who is a provider and who is just naturally generous. Not the guy, excuse me, not the guys that are trying to buy them, not the guys that are trying to do anything else superficial, or, being trying to put them in a golden cage. But just a really good, reliable man with who they could start a family. So how is that? What is the contradiction now between me sharing with you all those fantastic things about these women, these magical women that can do just about anything, create just about anything, that are nurturing, that are kind. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate that. So, of course, when I'm sharing things with you, you know that there are different categories of people. And there is definitely a category of women in Ukraine that prefer bad guys. And that's what we're going to discuss today, how to define them, whether you could do anything about this, and what's your next step, and how to be smarter, how to see this early signs, how to see this early signs of a um this possible mismatch, how to see the early signs of major issues. Or as Bill, a very loyal member of this community, also mentioned sometimes as blind spots. But I'm just gonna give you an idea, kind of a portrait, if I can tell, a portrait of a woman that likes bad guys. And you will need to ask yourself a question whether you want to be one of these guys, whether this is what you want to deal with. A lot of questions you need to ask yourself, right? So, what are these ladies that prefer the bad guys? Hi, Andrea. Boss kind of man. Well, you see, the boss kind of man can still treat you very well. So let's go to the very, very basics of things. Hi, Neil. Hi, everyone. Wonderful to see you all. And if you're on the chat, say hi or share a thought, even better. So, how do we go about how did this all start? You know, that um, first of all, certain kinds of people are addicted to adrenaline. And this is a major thing when, those Ukrainian women who are addicted to the bad guys, they have a certain addiction to adrenaline because there is an excitement, there is addiction to drama, exactly. There is a lot of hi Bill, there is a lot of things that creating that kind of neurological trigger for women to be bored with a good man, with a provider man, with a man that is there, and to seek excitement, to seek I don't know, sex in a public place, or waiting for him sitting there in the middle of the night. Is he gonna call? Is he not gonna call? If he gonna respond, if he not gonna respond, and that creates such a complex emotion, such an adrenaline addiction, that it's very hard to for these women, even if they understand with their brain that they going just for very short pleasures, they understand that they need somebody else to build a relationship. So these things, to my opinion, these things are more common for young girls, for girls who are new, who just turn 18, 21. They're new in this world, they want to try everything, they want to have passion. If you look at Ukrainian, or not so much Ukrainian, but classic Russian literature, there is always the thunderstorm, something going on here, something, there is always high drama in all the beautiful novels, in Ukraine, well, in Ukrainian too, but mostly in Russian, all Russian classic novels that we grew up in. Yes, we actually read literature over there. It was a big surprise to discover that nobody reads classic literature here. I was literally heartbroken that nobody reads literature here, except probably for people who just enjoy this, who are maybe professors or something like that. So anyway, so very early there is a neurological pattern that comes from these books. When if Tatiana, Pushkin and Letter to Tatiana and all these classic novels, it's all based on heartbreaks, it's all based on it's all passion, and it's like neurological action. It's a psychological thriller. There is a lot of things that just get you high without drugs, get you super high, get you super low, get you on an emotional roller coaster. And maybe when you were in love, first couple times in your very previous I mean, in your young years, I hope that everybody here knows what I'm talking about. Everyone of us, I hope, had a roller coaster. I definitely had. No. I definitely had the roller coaster. Definitely, high school, college, all this kind of dating, going out, all this craziness. But what does it teach? What does that really teach young women? That this is love. What it teach them? That this unknown, undiscovered excitement, change, not being sure, uh, just all this super adrenaline, often drama and very unpredictable scenarios, they get them, they feel or think that this is love. Basically, we were told that passion and infatuation is love. So these many young girls dreamed about the adrenaline rush. And if you are a little bit more mature, you already know that there is no crazy adrenaline rush when you truly love somebody. It's a little bit different. Oh my God, thank you guys. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Bill. I really appreciate the support. And Bill is saying you have to look very closely and be wise to detect bad girls in Ukraine. We're gonna talk about that in detail. Most Ukrainian ladies get good practice. They heard it all. Right. Yes, we're gonna dedicate quite a few videos for that, because so many men just writing me, Veronica, you giving me hope, but unfortunately what you share had not applied to me. I fall in love. Some people, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna try to say this. Some people are some men who write me. They get really inspired, watched my videos, but I don't think they did such a great choices or looked for the qualities and values that I share in my videos. Or thank you, Terry. Is it Terry? Thank you, Terry. That is so sweet. I appreciate that very generous donation and your thoughtfulness. Thank you so much. And Terry says, keep up the good work. Thank you. I hope you guys will enjoy this video. It really means a lot to me for you to giving me such a wonderful feedback. Thank you. So sometimes we have to understand the root of the problem. It doesn't mean that you're going to try to fix somebody, but you have to understand where it comes from. And surprisingly, it's actually comes from classic. Would you ever think that this all comes from classic novels? I used to read, my dad was he knows any literature you can find, any classic literature. He's a big fan of real classic beautiful literature, and basically especially Russian classic literature. I don't know if Andrea is still here, if she read any classic literature, Russian. It's always based on drama. These eyes you see shed many tears reading, but those novels, they are worth the read. They are so deep, they are so incredible, and honestly, i just I just really enjoyed it. It's very educational, it's absolutely beautiful. And yes, there is Russian poetry. There are so many classics. Anyway, um, you just learn that what is love. Now, more trivial things. A lot of girls grew up in a household where the father was not nice to the mother. A lot of girls grew up in a household when the father was rude, when he was ignoring, blowing hot and cold, coming and leaving. Um, what else? A lot of girls grew up observing that behavior and thinking that that behavior is okay. And so, this one thing when you read a novel, there is another thing when you I actually have some tea with me today. There is another thing when you actually live it, and everything we go through is recording on our subconscious. You're not trying to look at your mother if she's unhappy in a relationship and saying, you know what, when I grow up, I'm gonna do the same. But this is just what subconsciously you see. This is just what's recording somewhere on in your conscious, subconscious. It's once again, it's not like you're trying to do this. It's not like you want to do this, but that's what you learn, and very often that's what you go for. You basically think it's a norm. Do you guys agree that, when you grew up in certain dynamic, in certain reality, in certain environment, you think it's normal, even if it was cold, even if it was dismissive. You will see very few ladies who had a good dad that has a low self-esteem because their father teaches them how men should treat them. Their father teaches them how men should treat them by setting an example and getting and setting the bar high. So, what do you guys think? I want to read some of your comments as we are on the interactive chat. Once again, thank you so much to sponsors of this live chat. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your thoughts. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Terry. Terry's saying that it's hard to find good entertainment and these streams are better than what's on TV. Thank you, Terry. And if you have any particular question or you just curious about something, feel free to share. Let's see. Okay. Thank you again, everyone. As well. All right, people who write irrelevant comments, like really irrelevant comments, ain't not are not going to ain't getting a response. How about this? How about my grammar? So, it's funny. Some people say that I give good information, but I really don't give good information. I'm giving you insights on certain things. Information is something that is very precise. It's like mathematics. 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 9. What is this formula? This is not so much in information. This is stuff more into depths, and and that's why we are here, right? You don't need me for information. You can Google, right? I'm going to repeat this again for those who may have their ear plugged. We are not talking about any other topics than the one I've mentioned. So, if I see that again, I will block you. I'm talking to you, Dair, Sajan, whatever your name is. We are not talking this. Could you hear? Do you need a hearing device? Okay. Yes, talking about bad Ukrainian girls. I want to tell you something you just witnessed, and that is normal. And I think Andrea would back me up. every good girl has a bad girl inside of her. Bad girl, it means that she can protect herself and she's fierce. So no matter how feminine and sweet and playful she is, it is a reality. Ukrainian women have many, many, many variations, many, many angles to their personality. And I think this is one of the reasons why Western men are so charmed by Slavic women, because a lot of Slavic women have great education. A lot of Slavic women have good manners. A lot of Slavic women could be good mothers, but they also can be good lovers. They also love a lot of things. Um, on the other side of the spectrum. So it's almost like you have four different women. Because it's not that easy to find a woman who is educated and yet she is very, sensual. She really enjoys spending time with her men. She also is it's like four different women. She's very serious when she's taking care of her child. When you're looking at her taking care of her child, you think she's a freaking child professional, because she knows everything very often better than teachers. She knows they have a regime, they have certain schedules, they are not allowed do the video games. I mean, and it's funny because sometimes I think those things change as we move to US, but for majority people they do not, because when I get to see my Russian and Ukrainian friends here, I'm just really pleased to see that these great qualities are still there. So it really is so many women. So the woman who is beautiful and also attractive, and she puts effort every day, and she may be having a career, but she also have a child, and also she can be very sweet and relaxed and home girl, and 5 minutes later she is doing something else. So it's just truly amazing how all these qualities, and I do think it's amazing. I was when I was growing up, I saw this and I loved hanging out with mentoring kind of women. I didn't think they were mentoring, but I thought they were magical, and hanging out, spending time, shall I say, with women like that. They love creating, and they show magic, and yet they're good mothers and good lovers, and they can make money if they need to, they have education. I mean, how can you possibly go wrong? But they also appreciate you and all of that. So this is how you fall for for a classic Russian Ukrainian woman. But they have the fierce side to them. You should always remember this. Well, you can witness it on this chart. The most feminine women also have a fierce side to them. We're gonna go back in just a minute. We're gonna talk about what is that about women when they are no longer a child, and fairy there is no more necessarily fairy tales, but they seem to appreciate men who do not appreciate them. And could you change that? The most important thing for you to know that it does exist, but also, could you really change it? That is important. Just 1 minute, guys. Oh, just 1 minute, guys. Scrolling. Just looking at a few comments. That is an interesting point that John is sharing. He said sex creates more problems than it solves. Sex should wait until marriage. Why? It tells you don't respect her if you pressure her for premarital sex. Well, there is a lot of truth to that, and a lot of men blaming women for being gold diggers and things like this. But question is, what just John mentioned, would you marry every woman you have sex with? So if it's in the very beginning, the way the society was working, before it was not okay to have premarital sex. Basically, if you have a woman, you're taking care of her. Now, are you taking care of every woman you have been with? No. So that would be an interesting debate sometime, but there is truth to what John just mentioned. There is truth to that. So, Kitty has a claws, yes. And one kitty is about to get her new claws. I can't wait. Probably gonna literally jump. Okay, it's getting a little darker, guys. So you, if anything, you know I'm still here. I'll let you know when I'm ready to go. All right, all right. Thank you, Bill. Eric, what do you mean exactly with understanding their roles? You are so wrong. People do not understand their roles. They choose to give loyalty to a certain person. We are living in 2020. Um, to deserve a homemaker, you need to be a certain way. You can be you can be how do we know that you are a provider? You know, you tell a lot of things, and I can tell you this. Um, you're really strange, first of all, because someone is a homemaker, it doesn't mean that they know their role. It's something that they choosing to do. And for all I know, you broke. Because if you wouldn't be saying such a you. A lot of things that you had mentioned were just so out of um, did not have very much sense. So, oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, you see guys, I want to show you something right now before I do what I need to do over here. So this is an example of a man who does not know his place. This is example of a man who is um, cannot hold the heat, cannot hold himself, and he's starting to attack a woman. So any man who can attack a woman, especially on her own live stream, deserve nothing but to be removed. Bye, Eric. We're going to miss you so much. I hope you get off from your mom's couch and go make some money. I truly hope so. Why did I call him out? So now, guys, if I would be wrong, here is the thing. If I would be wrong, if Eric is a competent man and a high professional and he is looking for a woman, for a true yeah, he may be a woman for all now. He may be a woman himself. So if he would be any man of substance, he would tell me, Veronica, what do you mean? First of all, he would support, he would show that he actually can do something. He would try to either make a valuable comment or support the show or bring any value in any other way. But instead, he started to attack me. And this is how you see what the person really think about you. A lot of people who are trolls in our everyday life, they pretend to be kind of a friend and flatter you with all kind of bullshit, but in reality he's sitting on his mama's couch in the basement and looking to go and just make a persona online. Anyway, competent man, do you guys agree with me? Okay, we are done with him. Bye. Competent man, if the woman tease him or she tells him something like that, he finds a way to hold, to take the hit. You need to be able to take a hit in life, a hit, HIT, or HEAT as well. So anyway, um, this is what we call incompetent on this show, and men like this can never get a homemaker. A home, women who decide to be a homemaker, do you guys realize what it really takes from a person to dedicate your life, your heart, to a man for who you may be, you may decide, you may want to pursue a career, but it's on a second place. You may want to pursue education and do some things, some other things for your self-development, but you really want to show love to the special person, and it's not for everybody. There is only about, I would say, 20% of women, even from Ukraine, they would be homemakers. Well, yes, and it seems to be this interesting dynamics that um a lot of men, really, a lot of people in the society, in the mainstream media, there is no respect for a homemaker. But I tell you what, you never get a homemaker when you tell somebody to know your place. So this is a mistake number one. When you are, when you travel into Ukraine and you think that somehow, because you have more zeros in your bank, that these people, they are, some kind of lower than you. You feel that you are in charge, and you're so important. Well, good luck. Any woman that have a good self-esteem, she will not. She will be. She will just observe you and make fun of you and block you on the stream. You cannot, it doesn't matter what you have. As a human beings, we are equal in our value. We are not equal in certain characteristics, the way we look, what we have, but in our human value, we are human. And this is why some this is why some men will never get a homemaker, because for a woman become one, it takes a lot of trust and support from her husband. Why? Because if she would choose a loser like Eric, she would have to put a huge risk on her life. Because when you marry a broke man that do not respect you, that do not know how to talk or what to do, he can leave at any moment. And here you are, left with nothing. You have to understand that when a woman decides to become a homemaker, if she does not do any other things, she basically giving you everything. Um, and what if you walk away? She may miss out on these years of doing business or career. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? I really want to hear from you. Do you understand that the woman decides to do this and then things do not work out? She ends up at, I don't know, certain age. It doesn't even matter what age it is, because it takes a while to raise the kids. And then you end up there. The husband said you are worthless, and you're just sitting there. You may have children, and they tell you, well, good luck. So we're gonna talk about this separately. Personally, I believe that I believe no career or skills. I believe that it's really awesome if I could not do that. I'm just gonna say this. I could never do that, because I would have an anxiety from, what if this, what if that. Yes, it's okay in the beginning. It's okay when you just get married, you had the child, but it's really awesome to develop certain skills and have these skills, because you never know. Your husband may become sick. He may decide to leave, and also the tragedy can happen, and he can also die. This is just the reality, as we all know. We are not immune from none of this. So for me, that's I just build differently. But if you found a woman that just wants to be home, you better have a big bank account so you can take care of her, right? Let me read some of your comments, guys. Thank you so much for being so active and distracting me. Um, we haven't been talking at this, guys. I have not been talking about the bad guys just at this moment. We talked about something else. Um, I love the idea of a of having when we have live chats. It's really very interactive, and sometimes we shy away from topic when it's natural, when it's continuation or an aspect of something. We had an aspect of an asshole here, so it inspired another topic. All right, but we are going to come back in a few minutes and talk about what it is with the bad girls, how to define one, and how to take some action. So. Yeah, she has no career to fall back on, no skills, guys. It's very difficult. This is Ukrainian women. Many of them suffer with that because they usually take a leave from the job, and then when they are on a leave, basically they have no job to come back to, and then their husband says, you aren't the same. You changed. Well, hell, I changed. I just, went through certain natural processes that it does change you. It takes toll on you for sure. You changed also. Okay, I'm trying to. Okay, Kay Ross is saying Ukrainian women are very unique and they care about men, and you treat her very good. She should chew for okay. Okay, so this is very interesting. So we're gonna go off from this comment. So K Ross. Okay, don't fall. It's gonna be a little too much for this show. Just a minute. Okay, let's see. Okay, so actually today we're gonna go back talking. No, your message is fine. Um, right now we're actually gonna go back to talk about these women who do not appreciate things and what's wrong with them and why and so on and so forth. So there is this category of women who are who grew up on very dramatic movies, who grew up on this literature, who created all this fantasy, adrenaline, excitement, just all this drama, and this is what they think is love. And when you are kind to them, when you are consistent, when you show in your determination, when you treat them well, they can't connect with us. The only way of connection, but this is more related to if they had a mother who was in abusive relationship, the only thing they can connect to is when you are doing terrible things to them, including physical violence, including possibly even sexual abuse. You leaving and going, you going back and forth. They enjoy the drama, the cheating, what else, all of these things. This is what they are addicted to, and the most important thing I want you to get from this video, that you are not a psychiatrist, you are not a therapist, and you cannot fix it. It is very similar than dating or living with somebody who have an addiction. It is very similar as being with somebody who has an addiction, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, video games, cheating, uh, just having adrenaline kind of sex. There are men and women who are adjusted, addicted to that kind of thing. So it's very difficult. So what do you do in that case? If you would be with a person who is addicted, a lot of Ukrainian women went through having their husband addicted to, let's say, alcohol, and then he would get violent. So the girl who grew up in that household, she may subconsciously think that this is normal. You get drunk, you get violent, you get rude, you may be, as I said, physically abusive, you yell, you scream. And so, even though the child may be totally scared and uncomfortable, but they think it's normal. All of us, whatever you have in your life, right? You think it's normal. Whatever you, especially when you were little, when you were forming, whatever you think around you, it's normal. And that's why it is so hard to change those patterns. It's so hard to change that neurological path inside of you. It's quite a it's quite a difficulty to create a new neurological path, to create a new one, to start living differently. Have you tried to, when you decide, okay, I'm gonna, start working out, or I'm gonna wake up earlier, how long does it take you to actually adopt that habit? It is very, very difficult. And so, as getting joy from being abused and being hurt, and it's very sad, but you have to remember that in a way I am man's advocate, just because well, I'm good man's advocate, men who are competent, not losers on the couch. Well, you can be on the couch right now because it's evening, but I am trying to tell you something. When you meet somebody who is, so let's say about 3 to 6 months, you feel that, you say I love you messages, you send some money, you doing all kinds of things, and you feel that the more of a good stuff you do, the less she wants you, the less she talks to you, the more she takes you for granted, and all of that. This is one of the first sign that this girl is addicted to the bad guys, the one that maybe even ignores her, or the one that is disrespectful, the one that's aggressive, the one that just doesn't care, the ones, especially the ones that come and goes, hot and cold and all of that. So this is the first sign. So, dear friends, if you're listening to me still, this is the first sign, is that you're doing good things and you feel less and less and less. The good woman, the woman that wants a normal, good, stable guy, she would be telling you very a different message. The more you do for her, the more she appreciates you, the more she treasures you, the more she looks forward to your future, the more she supports you. She reaching out sometimes on her own. She gives you this, even if it's a long distance, she gives you that, she can't hug you with her arms, but she hugs you in her heart. You talk to her, you see her eyes, she's available, she wants to just tell you how much she appreciates you. I made a video yesterday about just a short video from our live stream, a little bit of a topic that we talked, that when you support you during the quarantine, when she does not need to worry about her lights being on, her internet being on, her having enough of supplies to basically survive this time, if you could do that, a good woman will have nothing but appreciation for you, and you are every day you are sexier because you are capable, or you showing you are stable like a rock and you showing your support. It means that this woman is mentally healthy, she is not damaged, she is pure, she is ready for the good. She may have waited for you for quite some time, because she wanted to have that stable man. On the other hand, in another scenario, is when she's bored with you, she's keeps the conversations very short, she's not available, you don't feel the affection, and when you with her, spending time with her, face to face, it seems like she's mostly tolerating you. She's mostly tolerating you, and Ukrainian women know how to show affection. If one thing Ukrainian women know how to do, they know how to show affection. Even if one day, oh, even if one day your tripod falls. Okay, I told you there's gonna be a lot of surprises on this live stream. No, please. Ukrainian women do know how to show affection. If one day you can no longer have sex, if you didn't know, Ukrainian women do not like artificial things to keep the sexual life going. Let's put it like that. Um, Sometimes having a great affection, there are many ways of being intimate, and not all of them including the physical act. Um, Affection is something that comes from your heart, even when you're not sexually aroused, even when you're not super excited, because that stuff goes super high and then eventually it slows down, and then sometimes, I'm sorry to say this, I know it's a painful topic for many people. I haven't really dealt with it, so I don't know very much about it. But the only thing I know is that Ukrainian woman that really loves you would prefer you to not take in any pills, because it's extreme danger to your health. But you will feel love and affection. This is for more people who are a little bit older, and it's not the most important thing. You will feel the emotional intimacy, and you will feel the touch, the affection. And I'm telling you, this is more important. Touch and affection is more important. There are some things that are important when you're 20, and 30 and so on, but completely different things do matter later on. You're looking for companionship, you're looking for somebody to share things with, and unfortunately the girl that likes bad guys, she would just be bored with you, just like men who like bad girls, they are bored with good girls. Let's talk about this for a minute. So you can relate. I want you guys to be able to relate. I'm gonna put you on the spot, but this is makes it more fun and more interactive. So, a lot of there is a category of men that are bored to death with good girls. There is a category of men, if you would have a girl that, does everything, she's always home, she's always there, she's always available, you know what she's gonna say, what she's gonna do, she's sweet, she's not the plain kind, the cheating kind, she is basically, this pure kind of like Amish, in the United States. I don't really know any Amish people, but they kind of look, that they're very traditional, old-fashioned. I don't know very much about it, but they always wear these long dresses and these little things, and they live in like sort of in a past. So if you would have, let's say, an Amish kind of girl, wouldn't you be bored? If you, and I know this for a fact, I have girlfriends and I'm living life. If for not for many men, for some men this is okay, but there is definitely a category of men that do not appreciate a good girl whatsoever. They need passion, they need to be jealous. I'm talking about men, so please comment. This is very important. I would like you guys to comment. Honestly, would you, so comment you all, especially men who are on the stream, are you would you get bored of a good girl? The ones that's predictable, the ones that's basically, your caretakers, the ones that's always the same, always sweet to you, never ask you for anything, just just bows to you. Somewhat relates to, again, I'm not an expert on Asian culture, but to me it feels like in Asian culture, a lot of women are very they're very quiet and they're very submissive. I not saying that this is bad, but it just feel to me the culture. I would die doing that. But so what do you think? Just be honest. Tell you. Just write me yes or no. Would you be bored with a very good girl that's always the same, always there? There is nothing about her that there is no spice. Um, it's like a very plain dish, and there is no spice whatsoever. You having some food and you have no salt, no spice every single day. So let's see what's going on. Okay, I think people who were hurt in the dating, in Ukrainian dating, right now are gonna be saying that they're not gonna be bored, but the man that's Vera was very boring and plain Jane. She's also plain Jane. She is a plain Jane. She's sweet. You know, she's just trust me. I know the truth. I know the truth. But I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna listen to what you're all saying. Okay, so I'm gonna go from the bottom up. Stan is saying, I just want someone with healthy self-esteem. Yes, healthy self-esteem is awesome. It's a uh, vital part. So yes, for healthy self-esteem. Yes. Hi, Aaron. How are you? Aaron is saying, a good girl is my expectation. Good luck, Aaron. Um. So today we're just talking about, we're talking about the girls that seem to prefer um different kind of men. A lot of men suffering because of that. Well, I'm trying not to laugh over here. No, bad girls are generally insensitive. The more mature a man is, the more appreciate he. Yes, that is true. Bill just hits the nail on the head. It is very true. Bad girls are generally insensitive. The more mature a man is, the more he appreciates good girls. Exactly, Bill. And same with women. That's why I always recommend you do not date women who could be your daughters. They still need the games. They need the adrenaline. They need the all kinds of things going on. So, but when the woman matures, she has her experience. She had her heart broken. She cried. She lost. She got hurt. She no longer wants a bad boy. She wants a reliable man, a strong man. It doesn't mean he's, not attractive, but he's strong and he's reliable and he's loyal and he's kind. And she finds that sexy. But a lot of y'all going for women who are a lot younger, and they ain't gonna be like that. They are not. They didn't have enough of experience to see the appreciation and actually have and attraction in all kinds of ways towards a man who is stable, towards a man who is competent, towards a man who knows what he's doing. These are the women that's been around, that had the hot guys, the broke guys, the great and bad guys, the sex addicts guys. um, these women, they need to relieve or live through this experience to understand what's important, especially if they had a bad situation in their home. If they had a stable home, if they had a good mother, or mothers that had a standard, it doesn't matter, even if she was, if she had couple husbands, but if she had a standard and she hold her head up, and she never let anybody treat her less than, the girl most likely will not, even when she's young, give a time of the day to a man who is mistreating her, to a man that treats her poorly, to a man that's not consistent, to a man who does not call back, to the guy who doesn't check if she came back home okay, to the guy that does not take great care of her. So yes, these girls are exceptions if they had a great mother. We really learn from our moms. If she could carry herself, and if she had a good father, of course, who set an example, that is important. But I will tell you something about Soviet times. There were not that many examples. In Soviet time, divorce was basically considered like a how when you this hot klimo in Russian. Have any Russians here? How to say klimo? This um that sticker. I'm gonna say that thing on you. So if you are divorced, it's just end of the world because it was rubber stamp. Yeah, possible, something like that. And so guess what happened? Women were living with men who do not value them. Women were living with men who were cheating, who were not helpful, who were just very, very selfish, and did not give them the joy of having a support. So I would say probably more than half girls in Ukraine grew up not seeing the perfect relationship between mother and father. There was no psychology education or anything like that, and a lot of women sacrificed their love, their life, their wants, their needs, their desires to keep the family, to stay married, to make sure the child has a father. But a lot of times they had to pay such a tremendous price because children cannot learn love where there is no love. The children cannot learn love if you're trying to pretend in front of them. The only child learn is that, oh, okay, so it's okay for a man to come drunk, it's okay for a guy to disappear for a week, it's okay for a guy to be physically abusive, it's okay for a guy to neglect a woman's desires, and being so disrespectful. It's really so sad, kind of takes me in the memories and things I've seen. I did see, of course, very many good examples as well. But so these women, I want to tell you something very important here, is that don't once again decide that you are a therapist, that you are any kind of magician or psychiatrist, and that you're gonna make her change. If you see that your good efforts are not appreciated, if you see that things are not going so well, she does not respond well, excuse me, she does not respond well, you don't feel affection, you don't, she doesn't appreciate your gestures, your chivalry, she kind of bored, she doesn't, you're not uncertain, most of all you are uncertain, you suspect things, you're not comfortable, you have tightness in your chest, or you have that gut feeling that something is off. She does not, you don't get that affection that you want to get. Well, whatever you get, you're responsible for. You're responsible for your choice. When you know and see things to begin with, don't think that they will change, because they will not. When we meet somebody, when we meet somebody new, we are at the top. We are a lot higher than in our regular state. And that's why people getting so addicted, to other people to bring them to that state. So if you do not start from the high state of understanding, if you don't start from the high, strong connection, chemistry, joy, excitement, and at the same time doing, enjoying simple things and all of that, if you do not have that in the beginning, you are sadly mistaken if you think that, oh, I will, we'll get to know each other and she will start liking me. No. I can tell you, as a Ukrainian woman, as a feminine woman, as a girl that understands something about this stuff, if the woman does not desire you and not affectionate with you in the beginning, I would say not like a first date or anything like that, but if there are some months had passed, a year had passed, or however many times you actually meet and spend time together, it's not gonna grow. That is such a big and fat lie. It's just not true. It's just absolutely not true. She will not be able to give you what she doesn't have. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Terry. Oh my gosh, thank you, Terry, so much. I appreciate that. I'm so glad that you enjoying this, and thank you for such a great compliment. I will keep it between us, but thank you. I have such a amazing I have such an amazing following. I was just thinking about this today. Oh no, the next day, guys, the next day after our 3-hour live, uh, it was, I'll be honest with you, I'm not, a singer or person that performs, but when you really, really go deep into your emotions, it does take a lot of energy, as it should. And I felt so tired the next day, but I felt so happy. I felt so connected with you, and I felt that it's so wonderful to being able to share these things. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And Terry, I'm deeply touched. Thank you. Thank you guys also for the kind words. I'm not sure about this show, what we're gonna do. So it's again one of the longest shows. We'll see. Maybe I will keep it here. But I want to tell you this. If you have been supporting the channel and you are not on Patreon, maybe, that's not something you not in your plans, you can send me an email and I will send you an access to videos. So for those of you who put extra effort, I wanted to show a little extra appreciation. So if you want to rewatch the videos that I make private, if you want to just go again through certain things, you can. If you want to, I will send you the replay a couple days after. So because if you are in Patreon, you can see these videos. I usually post them the next week. So thank you so much. Oh, and I told you guys that I have a surprise for you. So that one okay. Thank you guys. I told you that so I was going to pick just 3 people, but in this, what's going on right now on the channel, you go extra mile to be generous and supporting. So I'm gonna pick 5 people who are very active and have been. Oh, I'm considering that, Terry. Um, we're gonna come back to this in a second. So I'm gonna choose 5 people and we're gonna have a drawing. I will have 3 prizes, and it's gonna be really fun because we're gonna do that live and we're gonna do that in a month. So was it Friday or Monday? Oh, and I have another great news. I don't really have to keep track of things because YouTube does it for me. I do make notes and I do read your comments sometimes after the live to see every comment. But if you were donating, supporting, and super chatting the channel, everything you ever done is recorded. So it would be super easy for me to pick to pick 5 people and have a join. It's gonna be fun. So what the prizes we're gonna have, and I want to hear your opinion, guys. Can you share your opinion on this? So I was thinking for 5 people, gonna get 5 of the people gonna get 3 little gifts from me. So one of them, I know some of you really want to have a consultation. It's of course a limited time, so you can have a free consultation with me. Number one. Number two, you can, if you're not Patreon member, you can have a free pass for joining one of our Zoom chats. Guys, if you think this is fun, if you're on Patreon and you're a Zoom member, guys, those who are on Zoom, please back me up if you agree with me. We're having so much fun because it's a private platform and we joke and it's just really a lot of fun. And the members are also on the live chat so they can show stuff. So if you're not a Zoom member and you are, I will pick you. You have a free pass for one of our nights just to have fun and join the conversation. And number three, it could be a physical gift. It could be a some, I was thinking about some tea, but I'm not sure if you guys know how to make tea. So maybe I will send a book. Some cool books. So I have a lot of masculine. Oh yes, I can send a picture. That's a great idea. I can send you an autograph picture if that's what you like. Absolutely. Meyer gift card. I don't know about the Meyer gift card, but yes, I could send you. I could certainly do that. Especially if you have a favorite. I'm gonna be posting some photo shoot pictures on Patreon sometime, and yes, some books about that are interesting for men. Maybe a coffee book with cars, or books on finance, or books on self-development. Believe me, if I have a lot and it's gonna be my personal books that I read, and so you will have some anti-coronavirus protection on that book. So I'm just sharing this because I just really appreciate you so much. You have no idea. That morning that I woke up, I felt like, did I dance on a table? Am I in belly dancing again? Was I in a club? Did I drink some vodka and cognac at the same time? No, I did not, but I had a great time, and it's a really a very satisfying kind of tired when you wake up and you feel very fulfilled. Because if you have alcohol, let me tell you something. When you have alcohol, you have a lot of fun, blah blah blah. But then in the morning, you feel, how you feel. Most of you do. That energy you had was not a gift. That energy you had was borrowed. So now you need to give it back. When you do something that you truly love, even if you're tired, you feel very satisfied and you just get some rest later on. So thank you for keeping me up last couple days ago for 3 hours. It's such a great way to connect using the technology. So thank you, Bill. It is a great time on Zoom. So one of the prizes gonna be one of the little things gonna be priced on Zoom. But if you are a member, then you're gonna have something else. You can choose if you want to have a consultation, if you want me to send you a picture as John suggested, or I can send you a book. Something that I'm not gonna send you some. You should see my library sometime. You will understand what I'm talking about. So, just for fun. Okay? So, let's see what's going on. I need some tea. Roger Smith. Yes, you told me that before. Can you send me the links to your books? I don't know if you are on Amazon or if you have some other ways. Could you send me some of your work or links to where I can look at your work? And thank you so much for offering. I remember you did offer. Well, I do a little bit of writing, but I have I have thought if I could write it in Russian, I'm a lot more fluent in Russian. I can't even tell you. I feel that sometimes that I don't have enough of Bill. Okay. Um, no problem. So just like everybody struggles with something a little bit, I'm a little concerned whether I will be able to express the way I want to express it in English, but it still could be a good idea. And I'm telling you what I do write, but this is a secret and nobody knows it, and I just do it for myself at the moment. But it could become a short story, it could become a novel. I really don't know. A lot of people had requested, and I think Terry was sharing about the stories of US. You know, I really wanted to share my US story, but it's gonna sound so weird. I'm really afraid to hurt some people's feelings, because I know they not gonna like what I'm gonna write, and so it's we'll see. But at the same time, you know, I could consider writing for you guys a book about secrets of Ukrainian women's mind, something that you can use in your pursuit, something that you can use in your getting to know, understanding the culture. Maybe it could be more into depth than the video, even though we are diving pretty deep over here. So no, no, no. I don't do. Friend cannot write it for me. No, Frank cannot. If I do something, I do it myself. If you hadn't already noticed, I don't do that kind of thing. I can ask somebody to help me a little bit, but at the same time, it's such a different time right now. People who can barely talk, in general, even in their own language, post in books, and some of them very practical, some of them more like a manual. I know some people that do not have language skills as I do, and they publish in books. So maybe it's something that I should get out of my comfort zone, and I could ask somebody to maybe check for certain improvements, but I would never want somebody to do it for me. Right. They still gonna get butt hurt. You know, Terry's saying I would like to some cooking of some Ukrainian traditional foods. You know, you can only write a book about something you truly connected with. Yes, Terry, I will surely consider that, but I think that's probably would be a cooking video, probably would be best. But you know, recipe book, somebody I guess could do it. That's a funny request. My writing, you know, we had writing in high school and college. I would make my teachers cry with the things I would write, you know, meaning I would always have a slightly different insight than the teacher. So thank you guys for the thought provoking ideas. But I think if I do the first book, it could be some kind of a help book for you, something like translating Ukrainian or Slavic mentality into English, because you know you have dictionary, you have what else? You know, you have dictionary, you can look things up, but you cannot look up the mentality. So yes, insights do make you creative. Right, I totally agree with that, Roger. Exactly. Honestly, when I will feel the real need for it, I would follow up with it. I don't know about you. For me, I do things. There is energy for things at the certain times. You know, like right now, I could be doing something else, but I really feel this. We did not plan this live, so thank you again for coming, everybody, and Thank you for the sponsors of the video. I appreciate that. As once again, this wasn't planned, as we planned the Friday night, and I was going to do something else, but inside of me, I felt the energy to come out and see you here. So when I will feel that I want to make a book, I will make a book. And I agree with Roger again that don't make it perfect. Did I understand you correct? Don't make it perfect, just do it. Well, this is how I live basically. I live my life. I don't make it perfect, but I definitely do it. I definitely do it. If you know, I have a lot of things to look for. But if I would have to go tomorrow, if I would be gone tomorrow, I would have no regrets of everything I had done. So, that is very true. When the student is ready, teacher appears. Yes. I do write certain things, but I don't know if that's something I will publish. In fact, I hope nobody finds it. I do write a journal, and I write it in three different languages. So people do not cannot read it. So, I bet Bill will now say, well, so, Veronica, what about finance? I'll be surprised if you won't, Bill. Memoirs, that's right. Oh, James is, I don't know if James is here. James, are you here? James from the Zoom. I don't know if somebody could text him. I think he doesn't know I'm live today, but that's okay. We probably won't stay for too much longer. So anyway, guys, this is just, this, we talked a little bit about that. I will consider make an outline for this and just make, as I did yesterday, a short video summing up the bad girl issues, but this is very serious. I want you to understand you have no power over it. Only the person that want to change their life consciously can change it. And you cannot force the other person to change. This is the biggest misconception of all. You think that, oh, I'll be so nice to her, she will change, or I'll be so nice to him, I'll do anything for him, he will change. Unfortunately, this is not how it works. So we're gonna talk about Friday about dynamics. Once again, a lot of men tell me, but Veronica, I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to be the cheater. I don't want to be the guy that disappears. I don't want to be the guy who is not affectionate. I don't want to be the guy who is cold, who is distant. I don't want to be that kind of guy. And that is not what I ever would suggest. But there is a dynamic, and unfortunately, you can do it without dynamic. I'm gonna give you a little preview of our Friday topic. Imagine, okay, all of you all who are right now on the chat, imagine that you met a woman that is your dream. You don't know her that well, you just meet her, but she is gorgeous. She is totally your type. I know that appearance is very important for men. So a sexual compatibility. So you like everything about her. In fact, you would think that she is out of your reach. She is beautiful, she is stunning. I mean, it's like, seriously, she's in your taste. What beautiful for me may not be beautiful for you, and the other way around. What you find beautiful, the other man may not find, but she's in your taste. She's everything you ever wanted and more. In fact, as they say, she is out of your league. Okay. And here what's happened, and this is why you need to know the dynamics. Listen to me attentively. She meets with you, you're on the first date, and she is looking at you and she's asking you questions, and she says she enjoys time with you, and she always wanted to have a husband like that, and you are so awesome, can I take a picture with you? And she is basically, basically the egg is chasing the sperm. The deer is chasing the hunter. So she's just, you could never even dream of her, but she is so she's so into you that it's really repulsive, and you're kind of in shock, even though initially you had a lot of admiration, desire, excitement about her. But then she goes home, and every hour she's like, "Hey," I'm gonna put Bill for an example, just for fun. It's like, "Hey, Bill, how are you?" And you are at work, and you're like, "Well, I'm okay. Yes, have a good day too." Blah blah blah. 10 minutes later, picture. 2 hours later, "Hi. Well, I was just thinking about you." 3 hours later, "Oh, how are you? I'm just missing you." Next day, pictures, calls, messages when I can see you. And tell me honestly, I know you're not gonna tell me the truth. Well, I hope that you will actually. Would you not lose the interest for the woman that, uh, oh, got no game? Not game. I don't mean game in a bad way. Or I can tell you even more realistic thing. If you on social media such as Facebook or or Instagram or even YouTube, if I would be going live every hour, "Hi guys, well, great to see you. What's up? Subscribe to my channel." You'll be like, "Oh my god, woo." Well, it's not just smothered, but if you would get attention that you did not, if you will get that kind of attention, if she would go strong at you, if she would be not giving you space, if she would be very needy, searching, looking for attention, there are women that consistently posting this awful, tasteless selfies, like every day there is a selfie, same thing, same selfie. Every single day there are selfies and selfies and selfies. And you're just thinking to yourself, boy, I wish you can get paid for the selfies so you can get some help. So this is a difference. It's just a little hint. This is a difference between not understanding the dynamics and giving people space, not understanding the dynamics and giving people space, and understanding it. I do not mean game of manipulation. I would never ever recommend you to manipulate, to take advantage of somebody or anything like that. But a lot of ladies, they do not, and a lot of you guys do not understand the dynamics. You need to get the dynamics down. I will talk about this into depth on Friday. I do not teach you game as I teach you game, quote unquote, but you have to get it down. It's the same if I would not know English alphabet, but I will try to memorize every word, but I don't know the alphabet, so I may know some very difficult word, but I'm gonna fall on the easy one. So don't miss the Friday, guys. I will do my very best to just make you understand the basics. It's gonna be kind of the coaching video, and we're probably gonna just save it on private. I'm gonna give you some clues because I hate seeing that some men are getting rejected, getting used, and year after year, they choosing the wrong women. But even when they choose the right women, they do not have game. Once again, game meaning dynamic. You have to have it. And it's not taught in school as far as I know, but it is very, very important. So what do you guys have to say? Well, that's a little bit not exactly, this is not exactly it, man. Yes, men do that, men do lead, men show their leadership, their strengths, with being able to provide financially. That is how you establish your dominance. That is true. But you may not have the chance to establish your dominance, and you may miss on good women if you are do not understand the game. Do you guys get me? Oh my god. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. I see 3 thumbs up. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're tuning in. And I appreciate such a generous donation. Thank you so much. I would like to hear from you what's going on in your world. Feel free to share a few things, and feel free to, if you missed the beginning of the conversation, those of you who are in a supporters club, you can request a link, as this video gonna go private after it ends. So thank you again, James, for joining the sponsors of this video. I appreciate that. Coming back to what we were talking about, this is very true. Women lead with beauty, men lead with money, if to be very primitive. But this is not about the leading. This is completely different what I want to tell you about. Do you guys understand? Do you just getting an idea? Do you guys getting an idea of what I am sharing with you? Don't hate the player, understand the game. And you know what? You would say, wouldn't it be nice if we would have to do it? It would be nice. But, honestly, even in my personal life, I have friends, I have my own personal life, and you have to follow dynamics. Once again, it's not about the manipulation, but it's about following the dynamics. You have etiquette, right? You can probably eat soup out of the pot like this, boom, 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 boom. And maybe some of you do that. If you are by yourself at the moment, be honest over here. You can get drink soup out of the pot. You can have a teapot and drink water out of teapot. What else you can do? You can do not dress up if you go, this is also, manipulation. You put all these nice clothes on you. You look professional. You look clean. You shave. This is also part of the game. This is part how you represent. Why can't you just go outside like you woke up? Even you, man. I know you need to shave. That's a major makeover. Okay, I'm not gonna say this. Breathe. But I feel that for many men it's a major makeover if you just take a shower and you shaved. So, well, I have to say it helps. But why you need to do that? Is it really important? I mean, you're a free human. Would people at work appreciate you? Or if you're going to a social event and you are wearing, if you're going to a social event and you wearing some wrinkle, unwashed clothes, and you did not take a shower for a bit, did not shave, I mean, you can still go, right? So, guys, I want you to understand, gentlemen, this is exactly what it is. You have to get the basics down. So I'm gonna, as much as I can, I'm gonna give you the basics of this on this Friday. If sometimes, if I'm not online, it means that there is a storm or some kind of emergency. So we have Friday Night Live at Friday Night Live, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you can join me, wonderful. It's gonna be our set How long have you been asking me to have set time for a live show? So Friday night, 8 p.m. during this quarantine madness, and as long as I can do it, we may change it for another night when the quarantine is over, but we shall see. So we're gonna go, and you will understand that I do not teach manipulation. I do not teach taking advantage. I do not teach not saying the truth. I do not teach mislead or misrepresent yourself, but I teach you the game. I do know how this works. I talk to ladies and I have some experiences, and I always wondered why some women get admired and they are not even that beautiful, and why some women get treated like crap even though they could be the next top model. I always wondered why some men deserve nothing but respect. Some men deserve nothing, many men in fact, that I encounter deserve nothing but respect, appreciation, and affection. Beauty is only fun when it comes with affection. Cold beauty, you might as well buy yourself one of those new rubber dolls, because if her beauty comes alive when she is affectionate toward you, when she appreciates you, when she enjoys the intimate space with you, when she enjoys special time with you. This is what's important. So I've always wondered why some of the best men I ever meet, I ever encounter, is married or they're married to the worst women. How do they do that? It's always one in a couple. Did you guys know it's always one? Two tyrants. Is it tyrants or tyrants? Two abusive people ain't gonna live together. No, it's only one. It's either she is this way or he is this way, or they switch in a different subjects. But I was always wondering how this works. Why good people do not, finish last, why they don't get appreciated. And being a good person, you just need to find the same person that have same values, but you also absolutely have to have the dynamics down. And our specifics on this channel is dynamics between Western men and Slavic women, specifically American men and Ukrainian women, but can also apply to other nationalities. So I'm gonna share with you my client stories, my own story, part of it that would relate to that, and I hope that I can give you some understanding that dynamic in starting the relationship is extremely important, and it equals to the alphabet. If you trying to learn the language once again and you do not know the sounds and the letters, you won't be able to read. You can try to memorize words, but if I would try to memorize the words, would I be able to talk and make a sentence? If you try to memorize the words in Russian, you would not be able to talk still. You need to know letters and sounds, you need to know how to build a sentence, and you need to know the dynamics in that sentence. That's pretty much it. So, does it make sense, guys? I hope it does. I'm not gonna, one thing I'm not gonna tell you is that you need to transform yourself into mean, cold guy that is unreliable, that is mistreating women, that's disrespectful, that is greedy, that is stingy or suspicious. No. Nobody can change your essence. If you are generous man, if you are wonderful man, you deserve nothing but respect. You will have no problem getting those basics down. They are not that hard. They are not that hard. But I told you the example with a girl, right? You meeting the most beautiful girl, and she starts attack. She starts to consistently writing you um and texting you and calling you. You'd be like, what the heck? So let me look. Oh, yeah, Jordan Peterson is good. Right, there is love bombing and some. It's just so, you know. I've seen very. I was studying in Ukraine, and I mean, I was living there. I saw some of the most beautiful women were some of the most unlucky, hurt, and screwed up because other people tried to use them and they didn't know, they didn't understand the game. I'm gonna tell you an example. A lot of girls do not understand that the man need to prove his intention, show his loyalty. I think John mentioned something about not having sex, but I would just say not jumping into sex. People do not let the connection develop, the learning about the other person. um People do not let the bond develop. Man, you guys need to understand this. The woman should, if she respects herself, she would not have sex with you unless you are committed and you basically are engaged. If she respects herself, she would not necessarily, especially in a certain lifetime when you are serious and you know what you want. You show your intention, you're not pushing or rushing for sex. That is for sure. Do you know how many women try to please men with gives them sex too early? And then guess what happens? Ghosted, bye, blocked, and they are sitting there with their heart broken. They cannot understand why every single time they have the same thing. They open their heart, they connect with a man, and they want to keep him happy, so they have sex with them, and they want committed relationship, but only things they get is their number gets blocked. This is a common story in Ukraine. This is a common story on the dating apps. And these women, I mean, I know some girlfriends. I have some girlfriends. And I told my girlfriends, you have no business being on Tinder. What kind of woman goes on Tinder? I'm not against online dating. It's okay to have a profile. It's okay to meet people. It's a free world in terms of we connect in all kinds of way. But you don't go on the apps when people swipe you back and forth, and when people's there for a quick gain, quick sex. You're not looking for a husband on the app. Plus, my personal belief that that's he who finds his wife. You don't need to be on the app. You do need to socialize, you do need to have social circle, but you do not give benefits to a stranger man the benefits you should give to a husband or at least a fiance. And I respect men who are hard workers. I respect men who are providers. I respect men who take responsibility. I respect men who are reliable. These are extremely valuable traits at the moment. And I just wish women would learn to value themselves. Just because man wants to have sex with you, it doesn't mean he's getting it. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that's the time, and that's something you need to earn. So a lot of women give benefits to the man, tons of benefits without any commitment. Many women commit to the man before this ever even became a real relationship. And then the men getting sick of them. I'm talking about, the modern hookup culture. Hookup culture. Um, I had a client, I mean, we are somewhat friendly relationship, but she's one of a few female clients I have, and I just lost it. I cannot understand how women with high self-esteem can even be on that on it's like I need water. Actually, I'm gonna have some tea. What do you guys think? Do you Okay, I have a question to you. I want to get this feedback. Do you appreciate when the woman um goes on to the intimate level the moment you want it, or just really open, or well, you know what I mean. If I would be a guy, I would be alarmed. Unless the man does not show his interest. Here is the thing: when you show your interest, when you invest, you're less likely to leave after you had sex, intimacy, or anything else. After you invested in a woman, your time, your emotions, your finance, your planning, you ain't going nowhere. And even if you would leave, she would still be the beneficiary. It doesn't make any sense. And 99% of men would not leave. But when you invest your time, your heart, your attention, your money, planning, doing all of this, when you invest in the person, you're not going anywhere. So behind the scenes, I started to help out some of my female people. I have very few, but I mean but I had a girl who she does always the same thing. I told her, you know if he doesn't need to invest in her, in you, or do anything, I'm even not talking about the money, or I'm just talking about uh creating that connection, that space. When you become friends, it takes time. If you just Okay, if you come to the job and they say, okay, well, your skills, your skills about $45,000 a year, and the job owner tells you, you know what, you're so awesome, I'm gonna give you 100,000. You're gonna be excited for a bit, but what's gonna happen then? You're gonna take it for granted and never care, and you will think that you deserve it. That's all. So, well, good for you, John. John is saying, I'm not interested in having sex with someone I don't even know and or like. That's right. I mean, it's really amazing. The hookup culture brings a lot more harm than use. Do you guys agree? Yeah, it is a red flag, Stan. That is for sure. And I'm not saying this. I want to tell you something. I'm not saying this. I'm not against female sexuality. I think that this is a very incredible, one of the most incredible things we can ever experience in this life. I think that sexuality is, uh, you know, it's one of the most, once again, incredible things that we were sent to experience. But if you do it, even if you're a woman or a man, if you do it with everybody, if it doesn't have any value, it doesn't have any value. If you are on a hookup site and every day you're meeting a new girl or a new guy, you devalue it just by doing that. It's like a cheap beer that you can get in every corner. So it doesn't have no value. So it's so crazy to me that people don't get it. But Ukrainian women sometimes try to be a people pleaser. They think, well, if I don't have sex with me, he is a man, he will do it with somebody else. So even though I'm not ready, but I will do it. So that's sad, but I'm not gonna give you all the Friday game. So, and the Friday game not gonna be about women. A Friday game is gonna be about um, the dynamics that you absolutely have to have. Uh, I'm sorry to tell you, but if you don't follow the early dynamics in relationship, uh, almost no woman will have an interest in you. You need to understand. how this works. He will see you as weak, as soft, boring, not interesting, and she probably will not be faithful. Not even that, it's probably won't even go anywhere. But here is the thing, if we're talking about the sexual thing, guys, okay, I'm a woman, I'm not just, some human. I've never a lot of men having big problem with waiting. I'm gonna put it like this. There are very few women that pushing for sex. There are very few women that pushing for sex. How would I know that? And there are a lot of men who pushing and they don't understand that that thing needs to get ripe. Then it's gonna be amazing. But no, let's have that green apple. I remember when I was in school, going to college, I really enjoy. I probably went on the thousands of dates. So well, I was available. I was in that time in life when that's what you do, and a lot of times I remember the anxiety of sexual pressure. Even though you're going out on a date, you have fun, but I often felt anxious. I often felt anxious, and that's not a good feeling. You want to let you relax. You don't need to take it from her. You want her to want that too. So there is nothing more pleasurable than develop these feelings and make you feel secure when she is totally relaxed. That's the way, you know, do everything good. But I remember the tension, and I remember, so I would have my girlfriend's cell phone when I go on a date, and if things not looking very good, I would text her that she calls me. Yeah, that she calls me, and she saves me basically, because you just don't know. And Ukrainian men do not understand the word no. So we would always exchange numbers. So if like something about to happen, this would happen. Yes, it is a hyperbolic statement, yes. Thousands, it's a just a way of saying this. But I don't know. There is nothing wrong with going out and having fun. I'm not interested in going out and having fun right now. I mean, maybe someplace special, maybe, once in a while, but your interests change as you grow. There is nothing wrong. We going on a dates at certain times of our life. I mean, like, when you in college, you learn about what is to be a woman. Men learn what is to be a man. You learn who you are through the eyes of other people. You don't know what kind of man you are with women till you go out with women, till you learn some manners, till you do crazy. Those dates were mostly about crazy romantic stuff. So, yes. So, a woman cannot know what kind of woman she is unless she has somebody in the beginning of her life to explore that with. So, I'm glad I did, because things that I was interested when I was 19 are not exactly things I appreciate at this moment. And I hope you feel the same way. I scared somebody. Have you ever confused being desired with being valuable? Well, it's hard to say. When you're young, you confuse everything with you mix everything together. But um I always knew my values, so it wasn't that hard for me. you can be desirable and valuable at the same time. There is no other person that gonna value you than you value yourself. And when you value yourself, other people see you as high value. And this is exactly why you need to have experiences. Exactly. And this is Stan is sharing that a girlfriend or a girl, um let's see, a girl once told me that the men she wanted at 20 were not, um let's see, the same man she needed at 30. Yes, and this is exactly why there are so many divorces, early divorces in, I'm gonna relax a little bit, I'm so tired now. Gonna relax. So this is the reason why there are so many divorces, especially early divorces in Russia and Ukraine. It is because a lot of times young girls are pushed to get married, and so somebody's ever vibing with, somewhere they've been vibing with at 20 is not the same man they need at 30 or 40. So nothing wrong with that. So that don't fall. Do not fall. So, all right, I'm gonna read some of your comments and we're gonna call it a night. How about that? Thank you so much, guys, for commenting. Okay, I feel like I'm about to create an accident over here. Okay. Yeah, our in bed with Veronica show is going smooth. Well, Aaron, I understand your thoughts. Aaron is saying, I appreciate intimacy, but finding the right princess is my desire. So why do you put but in there? There should be and, because you cannot have intimacy when short term short term one night stand situation is not intimacy. It's called sex, but it's not intimacy. So when you say I appreciate intimacy and finding the right princess is my desire, a long-term relationship is what this is all about. I know that, and that's why I'm here to support you. My channel is not really a hookup channel, so I'm not surprised to hear that, Aaron. But thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. God, I have so many good men on my channel. I'm just like, wow. I'm smitten. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Roger is sharing something. Oh, okay, of course it's going down when I need it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate you. Thank you. Roger is saying you would be amazed by how many men have only experienced rejection from women. They don't know how to accept the experience of a beautiful woman receiving them. Well, I do not know firsthand. No, I don't. But I do know a little. And that's why I'm here. So guys, any more comments? Good night wishes. So we will talk on Friday about these basic things that we need to learn, that we need to get down, and I hope that you will be able to hear me. It's basically gonna be a coaching call. Okay, so it's gonna be a coaching call for us getting together on one call. Okay. I prepared you today. Thank you so very much for the generous support and supporting the supporting the message, supporting the channel, for joining the super extreme super chatters club. Thank you so much. I just want you to know I appreciate every single thing you do. It means a lot to me. I appreciate people who comment, who subscribe, who remember to put that like and put that comment on the video, for those who are public, and for those who give me precise feedback, those who write just the most kind things, those who appreciate the insights, who understand this is not just information, for those who can see more and understand the main value of all of this. I really truly appreciate you, and I will do what I can to keep going. Maybe sometime in life I'll take a little break, but I do enjoy it. I love it genuinely, and I don't think you can do this unless you love it. I don't think so. What do you guys think? I don't think so. Oh, thank you, Terry. Terry, you made me smile today, for sure. It's amazing how appreciation just goes in so many ways. Thank you so much from my heart. Thank you for being so extremely generous. I cannot wait to have a little treat for you in about 4 weeks. I'm going to have a stream. So the only planned stream for now is Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I will see you there. Have a wonderful night. If you have particular questions, stories, feel free to send it in. So good night, everyone. Good night, Bill. Good night, Aaron. Good night, Terry. Good night, Plus or PU. I don't know. Sorry, cannot read it. Good night, Stan. Roger. Bill. I want to make sure, guys. John. Well, all of you guys. I'm sorry. It's a little bit more difficult for me to, but you know that it's all of you. Thank Frankie. Thank you all for joining. Once again, thank you for sponsoring this video, and more to come. Have a wonderful night, everybody. I'll see you soon.